stories at this hour, but we start with some breaking news. An arrest made in that deadly birthday party crash in Bladensburg. 66-year-old Sunday Joseph, the driver, accused of crashing into a child's birthday party in Bladensburg, killing a woman, injuring 13 others, including children, now facing several charges, including criminal negligence, manslaughter by vehicle. Joseph initially fled the scene, but turned himself in Sunday morning, was interviewed by a crash investigator. Joining us now is criminal defense attorney Joseph Tully. Joseph, good to see you. We just got the charges here, and you're hearing them as I am, as this just came down from Prince George's County. There were questions here about what may have led up to this crash. And again, we don't know why exactly this person left the roadway and ended up in this person's yard when this party was happening. But as you know, a 31-year-old is dead, multiple people injured. What do you think of the charge at this hour?
Well, the charges appear to be fairly conservative, so to speak, in terms of what the DA can prove right now, what the prosecution can prove based upon the evidence, which we could take to mean the preliminary evidence from the scene, skid marks, witness observations, statements to officers, as well as, most importantly, Mr. Joseph's statements to the police. As you've just said, he turned himself in to the police the next morning at 8 a.m. and gave a statement.
So, you know, questions are had when a crash of this type happens and it involves serious injury. There is at least the potential for a field sobriety test, for blood alcohol levels tested, etc. That did not happen, at least not in the immediacy of the crash. Unclear if it happened once he turned himself in. But could that skew some of the charges here?
Sure. So on the point of could this have been a DUI, and did Mr. Joseph possibly escape that prosecution by fleeing the scene and not talking to police or not turning himself in until the next morning? Just because there is a situation like this doesn't mean that it's case closed for a DUI. The prosecution will still investigate this as a DUI case, I believe. They'll talk to the party attendees. They'll get statements. Did Mr. Joseph smell like alcohol? Was he acting like he was impaired? Were there anybody that Mr. Joseph drank with that night? Was he at a bar? Was he at a party? Was he, at somebody's home drinking with them? Are there any purchase receipts of alcohol where somebody can logically infer that, look, he bought alcohol at this time before this event? Surveillance. Is there any surveillance of him walking, looking impaired? The vehicle black box, speed estimates, brake times, phone data. We could get not only evidence from a black box, but from somebody's phone. And again, the obvious, the skid marks, the measurements, and then we also have fleeing. Perhaps the DA can argue in a trial that there is consciousness of guilt, that he wouldn't have ran unless he was under the influence. That would have to be coupled, in my opinion, with other of these circumstantial factors that I've just listed.
Vehicular manslaughter, when you talk about this charge, generally speaking, and of course this is a particular one county in Maryland, but generally speaking, where does this rank in the manslaughter charges, the sentencing guidelines? What does this exactly look like for Mr. Joseph at this hour?
Sure. So in terms of the specific amount of years someone can be facing on this, these charges were just announced, but I can tell you that it's significantly different than a murder charge. You know, with a murder charge, you have to prove malice aforethought, some kind of intent. And the way that prosecutors do that now is to say, look, even though this person was drinking, they knew that drinking and driving was dangerous, and they knew that it could result in death or serious bodily injury. Therefore, we're going to charge what's called a Watson murder against them. Murder is indeterminate. You never know when or if you're going to get out of prison, whereas a manslaughter charge is determinate. There's a certain amount of years. It's a finite term. So that's the big difference between a manslaughter charge and a murder charge. Is it's significantly fewer years, and it's a determinate sentence, meaning you could determine exactly when and where you'll be released, versus a murder charge where you cannot.
All right, we're just getting those words on those charges now, as are you, Joseph. So we'll see exactly where this heads next, if there's a possibility for some sort of a plea deal that could be cut here between this defendant and the government. But again, a 31-year-old dead, and we know many people sent to the hospital as a result of this crash. We'll be awaiting word here as we follow along for the latest to come. Always good to see you, Joseph. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to topic number 2 here, where the Senate is reconvening today for an